everyone. I'm Celine.
And I'm Sahana.
We are the Sahana Sisters. Welcome to our podcast.
Today we're talking about being the strong one. It's a topic that we hold really closely to our heart. So we thought, why not start our podcast journey with something that we both hold so dearly? And I'm sure it's something everybody out there can relate with. So let's get right into it.
Let's get into it.
I have my notes here, so I'm just going to use these to help us out today.
So this is our first episode.
We wanted to start this podcast because growing up, especially in South Asian community, there were so many emotions that we learned to carry, but not necessarily to express.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna.
Okay, it's like we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So that's why for the first episode, we wanted to talk about what it means to be strong and how maybe growing up in a South Asian home in the United States, and maybe perhaps in other countries as well, we were told that whatever we're going through is, even though it's hard, we were labeled as strong, that even if something hard is going on, we have to get through it. And then we were in return told that you're strong and you can do it and you can get through it.
That's right. So I think let's start by first trying to think, when was the first time we were asked to be strong? Do you have any memory of the first time you were told you're strong, or you're supposed to be strong, or be strong? And it's a question for our listeners too. When was it?
The earliest I can probably remember is maybe middle school, high school, when there were just a lot of chaos going on at home. Well, you know this, like with my parents and everything. It wasn't a peaceful household, so whenever something rough was happening, I was told to be strong, that I'm strong, that whatever was happening around me in my surroundings was happening, and we're gonna do what we can to fix it. But just because it's happening and we have to be in it or go through it, that it's what makes us strong.
Right. And before I answer this question, I just want to say to our listeners, please, if you're comfortable, answer the questions that we're asking in the podcast down in the comment section. We are more than interested in learning and interacting with you guys, and this is a safe community here. So if you want to interact with us, please don't hesitate. And then to answer the question, I would say for me, it was also childhood. It was a transformative time for me. Something really big was happening, and I was just being told that being strong will just get you through it. You can do it. You're strong. And I mean, at the time, it sounded more like a compliment. You just didn't really realize the repercussions of this compliment and what it means to be strong. But it's like, something you should be really proud of. You're strong.
Yeah, so we've both had some, we've had difficult childhoods that has toughened us up. And we were just being told that we are strong was supposed to be felt like a compliment back then. And it did take us through those years.
Yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to cry. You're not really supposed to ask for help. You're just supposed to figure it out on your own. And that's what it meant to be strong. And that's what got you the compliments. And it was just basically being mature for your age. You're supposed to know what to do, and not be fussy and not be somebody who takes up a lot of space and energy. And if you did that, then you're good. You're strong.
I think strong can also mean sitting in quietness and just taking it. Strong can mean just take it and be silent and not say anything, or don't create more of a chaos or conflict.
Mm-hmm.
don't stir the waters, and because you're strong, and just quietly take it and sit with it inside and not speak about it,
Yeah.
or do
Yeah, again, it just comes back to you're not creating conflict, you're not creating any issues. You're just doing it on your own. You're not taking up space, you're not taking up other people's energy. And especially at a young age, if you're doing that, then you're strong. And, again, the word has this compliment like connotation that if somebody says it, you're just automatically like, oh my God, I'm strong. I got this. But I also want to get into now what are the hidden costs of being strong? How did that affect us?
do you want to take that first?
I can. I would say for me, one of the biggest the cost, my bad, is to realize that if you're strong, then people don't really check in with you. They don't ask you how you're doing. They don't ask if you need help. Or, I mean, they could, but it's more like a formality so that they don't feel like they didn't ask. I don't think they're necessarily coming from a space of wanting to help or wanting to listen. It's just like, I asked you and that's good enough. But if you're strong, then people like don't check in with you that much. And it's not because like they don't care, it's just because they think that you have it handled. And that mentality that you're putting on other people that, I got this, it makes the other people feel like I don't need to worry about them. They do got it. But in reality, a lot of times you are struggling so much mentally and even a lot of times physically. Um, and since, we're not really taught how to express it, we also don't ever ask for help. We're like, oh, yeah, I got it. I'm strong. I've been through so much. I can get through this too. But you don't realize you don't have to do it alone. What about you?
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I feel like even now, like if I share something vulnerable or something emotional and I just need to get it out of my system, or if I'm sharing it with my husband, for example, he'll be like, "Oh, you're strong."
Mm-hmm.
But that just now makes me think like I've been strong more than enough times in my life, and that's not what I want to hear. Like being strong doesn't mean that I can just keep taking things and keep taking hardships and not feel like I have to let it out. And sometimes you just want to be heard and just be empathized with, and given a hug,
And
and
validated.
yeah, validated,
Yeah.
given a hug, and I want my back to be rubbed and be like, it's okay. Yeah, that is hard,
Yeah.
what you're feeling. But yeah, being told that, oh yeah, you're strong. If you've gone through something hard, it's, I don't know. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's like, yeah, I don't want to keep being strong, like that type
Yeah.
of strong. And I think strong mostly is related to like endurance. That's how people see it,
Right.
right? That you have strength, or you have that
Mm-hmm.
endurance, or you've been through so much, or you have the tolerance to go through things, so you're
Mm-hmm.
strong, but then you keep
Yeah.
being strong.
Right. And it's also that like rest feels uncomfortable. If you're not productive, then immediately your mind is judging you that why didn't you work enough? Yeah, yeah, you have like so much to do, you're not doing it. Why are you just resting? You're this
Hustling,
exactly. It's like a
keep
constant.
doing and doing more and more.
Right. And then even when help is offered, in my case, especially personally, I'm not able to take help very easily. It's something that I'm working on, but I really just strongly feel like, oh, I can do it. I got it. I don't need to ask for it. It's if I can do it, I would do it. But the point is that sometimes even if you can do it, you can ask for help and that your support system is there to help, and it's okay to ask and reach out for help. Even if like somebody doesn't offer, you can pick up the phone and ask your siblings or your parents or your partner or your friends, hey, you know what, today is just one of those days, can you help me out here? I can't do that right now, but I really do hope to change that this year. It's one of my 26 resolutions. I want to be able to ask for help, and I want to be able to reach out without feeling like I'm too much or I'm being a burden or I'm adding on other people's to do list. And it's okay to do that.
Yeah, I think you'll get there. You can do that.
I think we all will get there.
Yeah, I still feel that way at times, but I think becoming pregnant and then now being a mom, I think it's led me to ask for help, that I realize I can't at least I used to do everything on my own, but then at that point you realize you can't do a lot of things. You need help, so you start asking for help. But yeah, I think maybe that's like the masculine part in a lot of women,
Exactly.
that we feel like we have to do everything on our own, but it's okay to rely on your partners or your siblings, like you said, or anyone else who's close to you, who can be there, who's reliable, and you can depend on them.
Exactly. Hyper independence is such a real thing. If you're always the giver, the fixer, if you always have the solution, then it's really hard to be the one who brings a problem to a table and asks other people to solve it. Which I want to then get into realization and unlearning of being strong. Do you want to go ahead?
So, okay, so by realization, you mean like we realized what the word strong can entail.
Yeah.
And what history we've had with it. And then unlearning, I would say, so strong mostly comes in terms of emotionally, right? Like how we've been strong emotionally. And I think myself and you as well, we've always been, you said you've always been like the fixer. So even with me, I've always been like the mediator, the emotional mediator, trying to help everyone, fix everyone around me, loved ones, right? And now I'm realizing I don't have to be that bridge anymore between relationships, and it's okay to just do me. And I don't have to be that person who's resolving all the conflict or helping other people out, and choose myself now and do what's right for me. And yeah, I don't have to, take on all of this emotional burden or responsibility just so I can be that strong person.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really important to realize. I would say for me, it's more about realizing that being strong doesn't mean self-abandonment, and that, if I always prove to my support circle that I'm there for them and I show up for them, then I need to give them a chance also to be there for me and take that in positive light. And it's also, I mean, to add to this, how you said endurance with resilience, I need to unlearn the meaning of those and then relearn them in a positive way, because that's very true. It's like you need to know they are associated, but in very different ways, in a healthy, positive way.
And then that's where boundaries come in, which I guess is like a hot topic these days. For
we're gonna get into it.
In one
of our future episodes. It's gonna be all about it.
I'm sure there's so many other podcasts. Everyone's been covering boundaries, but they are important. I guess like back in the day, nobody knew what the word boundaries meant until like mental health came into the picture, right? And more awareness was raised, and now we say boundaries are necessary because.
But now people also don't take it in a positive light. When you say boundaries, it comes across really negative. And we have to like really try to be like, it's not a bad thing where you're happy and I'm happy, but in just a certain dynamic.
Yeah, and boundaries isn't about like pushing other people away or putting something negative on the other person. It's about me. It's about yourself.
Yeah.
And how do I protect my peace and my sanity?
Exactly, which leads to healthy relationship. If you're happy, if you're peaceful, then you can put more energy into a relationship, which will be healthier and positive even for the other person in it. It's not just about the person who enforces boundaries, but also towards the person who it's for, because it gives them a chance to also kind of like slow down, rethink, and the dynamics become more positive and healthy towards each other, which I feel like we should talk more in one of our next episodes.
Yeah, we will do that separately. But yeah, I agree. So basically, coming back to creating those emotional boundaries, which leads to, not taking on so much emotional burden, and then you don't have to be the quote unquote strong one, and taking on all these unnecessary challenges that will only weigh you down. And that's what I've experienced in my past.
Yeah. And I mean, even though our podcast, we're targeting our South Asian strong women community, I'm sure this particular topic is relevant for every single woman out there who's balancing their family, their work, their kids, siblings, hardships. I mean, everybody is going through something in today's day and age, and somewhere they've had to be strong, even when it's not something that came naturally to them. So I'm pretty sure our listeners today are definitely understanding our point and probably agreeing with us. So interact with us. We're definitely here to listen. And like I said before, it's a safe community. It's a safe space. Um, so yeah.
Right. So, what else is on our agenda?
We're going to talk about reflection for our listeners and ourselves. So, if you're listening, we want to leave you with a few questions. First things I want to ask is, when was the first time you were told to be strong? We talked about it initially in our podcast. So please think about it. It's not something you have to answer today, it's just a reflection.
You can think about it based on, what was shared here. You can think about it, you can journal it, or you can always leave a comment or reach out to us. We'll leave our emails in the description.
For sure. And what did being strong meant in your family? Because it's different for every family in the way that they describe being strong. A lot of people look at it very physically. They're not open to knowing it more emotionally and mentally.
I'd also like to add that I've heard that not many people heard the word strong growing up. Like it's maybe because you and I have had sort of challenging past lives or childhoods. We've heard it a lot, and we had to be that strong one. But there are other people, there could be other girls who are at our age and are in our life stage, but they've been, really pampered, in their household,
Right.
or they've been, it could be that they're an only child and their parents have provided them with everything, and they never had to see that struggle with that hustle, and they never had to be that strong one.
Exactly.
Maybe now, for example, I mean, both of us are married, and maybe now, and I've spoken to someone who maybe now is married, and then now she's realizing that, I'm learning what it means to be strong, or how I have to be strong in terms of taking care of my household or my child.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people go through it very early on and it just really shapes their personality a certain way. Other people kind of go through it later in life. And it could be like in your friends, in your family, somebody, who's going through it. You might have gone through it before, somebody's going through it afterwards. So you were probably like that guiding light for them. You're probably, the one that they come to. So this is also for those listeners, you can talk to them and you can try to like reshape the word strong in more of a positive light where they can still feel vulnerable but still feel strong enough to go through whatever they're going through, and come out on the other side with so much more confidence and light before.
I would say it's not a, like you said, seeing it in a positive light. It's not a negative thing.
Exactly.
Like I see myself and I feel like, yeah, I am strong.
Yeah.
There's so much I have endured, and that's why I'm doing life the way I am now. And if anything else comes on, I'll know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So it is a positive thing if you can get to that emotional level
100%.
and feel good in yourself to be that strong person.
Yeah. Something else to also think about is, who are your safe people? Who do you feel the safest around? Who do you go to when being strong becomes
That's
too
important.
much?
Yeah. For example, you're my safe person.
You're my it's just to put it out there.
Yeah. And it's important to have those reliable connections. Someone who my nervous system or my body, my mind feels secure, stable, and safe with, and you're one of them. For me.
You.
So it's important to have those people in your life.
You're mine too. And one of the biggest things I make sure always to do when my people come to me for help is just validate them. It's only like for 1 second. Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not going crazy because you can't handle it. It is really a lot. And just like saying that sometimes makes the other person feel like, okay, I'm not crazy. I know that this is hard. I can do this, but this is hard. And when you acknowledge it that way, it just kind of like makes you feel even more confident that, somebody else validated this is hard, but I got through it. It's just little things like that really
Just being
build
heard,
community.
being
Exactly.
heard by your safe people,
Yeah, a lot of
your
times
safe
people will be
person.
like, "Oh, come on, you've been through worse. This is nothing." But well, it is something. Let's not call it nothing.
Yeah.
I kind of get a little irked by when people tell me that, "No, you've been through so much. This is fine." Well, no, it's
Well,
not
that's kind of like
fine.
brushing it,
Right.
right? Like it's like
Exactly.
putting it under the rug. It's like, oh, it's okay. We don't need to go into this.
Right.
It's no big deal.
Don't
You've
minimize
gone
it.
through, yeah,
It's a problem.
yeah. Don't minimize it. So if
Yeah.
someone wants to talk about something, a person should be there for them
Exactly. And a
to
lot of
talk through it,
times
because
in
in that moment it is hard and you need to talk
exactly.
about that.
Yeah. And a lot of times in that moment, it's a lot of times our elders are telling us that. They're sort of like reshaping our mind. And I know they're coming from a very helpful space. They're trying to minimize the problem so it doesn't look really big and it doesn't overwhelm you, which makes a lot of sense. But I would still feel really happy if my people just validate, like, hey, this is a big problem, but you know what, like, we're here, let's break it down, we got this, you're not alone. Saying that also really makes a lot of difference. You're not alone. I got it, we got it.
That's a really good point.
Even if it's somebody else who's going through it, you can't physically help them, why not just be like, yeah, we got it, we're together, we're team, I'm backing you up, go ahead, I'm standing right behind you. It's like kind of awareness like that really can help make somebody's day, honestly. If you're having a very rough day, if you just had a bad day, you had a fight with your boss, you had a fight with your partner, like, it's okay, it's fine, I got it, you're good, it's rough, it happens. So stuff like that really like helps build connections, also really helps build relationship. It's something you can use in every relationship. If your partner is having a bad day, why not justify it? Yeah, it was a rough day, it was a bad day, I'm sorry, baby, let's go have some good food, let's get through this, you're not alone, I see you, I hear
Who wouldn't
you.
like that? It's a good pointer.
Exactly, it helps in every
And I feel
single
like that's maybe
situation.
sometimes couples have to learn that or teach each other.
Right. It's something that's not really taught to us. You kind of like pick it up along the way. You kind of pick it up with fights, especially between partners, like when your wife can just be like, hey, you know what? I just wanted to hear that you see me and that I'm doing this. And it's the same way with husbands, guys like to be pampered too that way. You tell them, hey, baby, I see you going out like 6 in the morning and you're coming back 6 in the evening and it's cold and it's winter, like, hey, I have good food, let's watch the movie, let's have a good time
That's what
together.
I say.
Exactly. Like, that's you can use this technique with anybody and it always works, because people are just here to want to be validated and to like made feel like that they are here and it's important to you.
Yeah, so to recap, the questions that we want you to answer are, we said, what was the first time you were told that you were strong?
And what did it mean to be strong in your family? And who do you feel the safest being soft with? And I mean, let us know if you have any thoughts on this. We're very excited to see where this goes, honestly. And I would just say that we should be reminding ourselves that we don't have to earn care by suffering quietly. Reach out to your support system. Just say thank you. After listening to this podcast, whoever your soft people are, reach out, just say thank you. Just say, I thought about you. Forward them this podcast so they can also, hear all of this conversation and you guys can have a good talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, and maybe listening to our conversation here will give you that support and make you feel good, because I know there are certain podcasts that I listen to that make me feel that way, that I can relate and I'm sort of being heard, even though it's not a direct conversation, but it feels good to know someone else is also going through or thinking the way that I am.
Exactly. And we're here for that. That's why we came here for on this platform. We're super excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, so this is our first episode that we wanted to start together.
We hope you really like it.
Yeah, and like we said, we wanted to more catered towards the South Asian community living in the United States, who maybe is sort of raised here, has Indian roots, and is married, maybe has a child,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, or even if you're coming from India, you're new here, or any other South Asian communities, it's hard to sort of get adjusted to a new culture. So feeling like you're heard, feeling like you matter really just helps a lot of people with their emotional trauma and all the stuff they're going through, whether it's like, conflict, loneliness, whatever it is. That's why we're here. We're here for you, you're here for us.
But I think that's all we have.
We'll be
for
back
today.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. This is Sahana Sisters signing off.
Bye.
Bye.
Either that was really good, or I don't know what we just rambled about.